Here's the one insight. Two technologies have come together in a relative blink of an eye in human history and in the history of the self-governing people known as the United States of America. And those two technologies are geographic information system and the internet, evolving into the Internet of Things. Geographic information systems and the Internet of Things have given us, for the first time ever in democracy, the ability to model, measure, and map dynamic human and natural systems real time and in ways that all can see. This is a big deal. How many of us went on websites to look at, when this COVID shutdown began a year and several months ago, to see where it was spiking, where it was declining? And you could see anywhere in the world. That's this new technology, in this case, modeling, measuring, and mapping the path of this pandemic and whether or not individual actions were being taken that affect the well-being of the whole and the common good that we share. But all of this requires two big shifts in the practice of leadership. And I hope you all are still with me. The first shift is the shift from thinking about leaders as the man or woman sitting high atop a pyramid of command and control on the left, where among the things controlled is information. Instead, to realizing that in an age where everybody knows things or can know things at the same time as the leader, being high atop that pyramid is not a place of situational or positional advantage. Instead, the place to be is in the center of a collaborative circle, responsible men and women focused on the latest emerging truth. Second shift, and that is from command and control to collaboration. No longer is the rule of because I told you to do it sufficient, either for the effectiveness of the action or the legitimacy of the order. Instead, the sort of collaboration we need today on the complex challenges we face as a growing population on a finite planet requires that shared understanding. And the opening ante in this new game of shared understanding is timely, accurate information shared by all. We have to be able to show one another that the things we're doing actually work. So a couple final examples on transportation equity. African American population, you can get pretty granular down to a census tract. You can do the same thing in terms of Latinx or Latino neighborhoods and concentration of them. Income levels. In fact, you can also look at educational attainment. You can look at English proficiency, and you can come up with an index, as indeed Tim Lozano has done at Grant Thornton, an equity index that shows you where the delta is greatest for us to be able to cross in order to deliver on the promise in our republic of liberty and justice for all. Up the right side, the greater numbers of people that are below the poverty level, and where you see it turning to the shade of green, those are the sweet spots, the places where we have the greatest opportunity to make the greatest strides in terms of delivering liberty and justice for all and the common good we share. All of that can be rolled into dashboards that hopefully not just the mayor can understand or the city council, but that citizens can understand. Weighting those factors of education, non-English, average poverty, average non-white, and being able to evaluate policy decisions, deployment of broadband or economic development or sustainability solutions, whether it's water or energy or the like. Public transit, dash bus routes are designed to try to help kids get to school that don't have the school bus routes. You can plot those routes. You can see where people are served. And by seeing it on a map, you can also see, answer the question, where are people left behind, right? Bike lanes. This one I find kind of interesting. More and more, especially with COVID, we're starting to see cities remake themselves into places that are better for the health of people rather than the convenience of cars. And yet, even in a city as diverse as Los Angeles, you see a majority of those bike lanes go into white neighborhoods. Micromobility, AKA scooters. I find this pretty cool. Full disclosure, I advise a company called Spin Scooters. They're the orange ones. They're all geocoded. Talk about the assets. They have to distribute them every morning, collect them every night. And in order to keep their license to operate in a city like Los Angeles, they have to show that when they deploy them, they're not deploying them in discriminatory ways. No, on the contrary, that they're deploying them to areas that are historically disadvantaged and have not had access to that last mile of mobility in order to make it to public transit. So, conclusion. There is no conclusion, but there is tomorrow. And we can do a lot better tomorrow when it comes to getting things done and citizens affecting real change. We can do that because we've never had better tools than we have today. It's the tools that allow us to deliver the goods of the republic for the common good we share. The tools that make a republic worth defending, worth working for, and worth passing on to our kids, along with a healthier planet.